Hey, what's going on everyone? It's your boy Redstone9X here and welcome back to another command block tutorial video. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to do OP copper armor commands in Minecraft. And I guess technically this would be considered version 2 because 2 years ago I actually did a video like this, back in 1.20. But to be fair, in that video, the copper armor weapons and tools were not a thing back then. I pretty much made armor set that looked close enough to copper. And also the weapon was like an iron sword and that sort of thing. So if you guys haven't seen that video, go check it out. I will leave a link down below in the description after you finish watching this video. Also, the previous armor commands video I did recently was the wool armor commands. So if you haven't seen that video, go check it out. I will also leave a link down below in the description after you finish watching this video as well. And now, before I go into more details on what those commands are to make this work, you know the drill. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, let us start today's video. Okay guys, so here are all the commands for her. So it is a lot of commands into making this all work out. But trust me, it's not as bad as you think. Like, most of them are repeating for certain reasons, which I'll explain that later in this video. And, as always, I will leave a link in the description down below so you guys can copy and paste them into your worlds later on. Now, let's start this video. So first off, as always, I'm going to demonstrate how this works. I'm going to turn this on, and also I'm going to get my OP copper armor. And as you can see, they all have protection 10 on them, so it's pretty good. First of all, this is a great style for the copper armor. And second of all, you notice that nothing has happened just yet. So, we're gonna get into the first ability, which involves the copper weapon and tool set as you see right here. And we're gonna grab some food, and I'll explain what these 3 items are for a little later. So moving on to the first ability. And this one is pretty simple, so pretty much if you select any of these weapons and tools of the copper variant, they'll be enchanted. So for the sword, it pretty much gets automatically enchanted with sharpness 5 and unbreaking 3. For the copper axe, it's efficiency 5 and unbreaking 3. And the same is going to go for the rest of these tools right over here. For the pickaxe, shovel, and hoe. So it's not bad at all. So now moving on to the next ability, which is involving the pickaxe right here. Or more precisely, when you mine copper and that sort of thing. So let me go into survival. So over here we've got copper ore and deep slate copper ore. So as you all know, when you mine either the regular copper ore or the deep slate copper ore, you get raw copper back. But when you mine them while having this armor set on, this happens. So I'm gonna mine the regular copper ore. And as you can see, I got a block of raw copper instead of just a piece of raw copper. So that's the really good thing about this armor set, is that you can get the block variants of the raw copper, which if you put in a crafting table like this, it's pretty much worth 9 raw pieces of copper. So it's pretty good. So pretty much from that, if you include the one that I converted into raw copper, I pretty much got 40 blocks of raw copper from those ores. And by the way, this does not have to be with the copper pickaxe. It can pretty much be with any other pickaxe besides copper, just so you know. And also, if I put these in a crafting table like this, look at this. So the 40 blocks of raw copper is pretty much worth 5 stacks and 40 pieces of raw copper, which is very good, I must say. Okay, so with that, we're going to move on to the next ability. And actually, before we do that, let me go grab something real quick. which are some mobs right here, because we're gonna do a combat test a little later. Okay, so for this next ability, it involves using these items right here to craft a special item. So what you need is 1 lightning rod, 7 amethyst shards, and 1 end crystal. And you get the super lightning rod. So now you're wondering what this does. So this pretty much involves you putting this in the middle of your inventory. And also, I'll explain right now why I've got these podiums of lightning rods right here. So I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way. So pretty much, as the lore says, place this in the middle of your inventory and be struck by lightning to charge yourself up. So when I put this in the middle of my inventory, it's going to immediately spawn in a thunderstorm. So that way, you're able to get struck by lightning. So now we just need to wait.
2 hours later.
And as you can see, lightning just struck, and I'm pretty much all charged up. So in addition to the particle effects that you see, I pretty much got a health boost effect infinitely for as long as I have the lightning rod in the middle of my inventory. And that's not the only thing. Pretty much every time you hit mobs, you pretty much will smite them with lightning. And this could be either with a weapon like this copper sword I have here, or with just your bare hands. Observe. We're gonna spawn in a couple of husks, and I'm just gonna use my bare hands just to demonstrate. So when I punch them, lightning strikes. And also you get some additional effects. So when lightning spawns in, I get a temporary resistance and fire resistance boost, so that way I am immune to lightning damage. And also when I attack a mob, you also get a temporary speed boost effect, speed 4 to be precise, for 10 seconds, so that way you can make quick getaways. And if you guys have watched my last copper armor and weapon commands video I did about 2 years ago, then you'll recognize these abilities, because they're pretty much exactly the same. Well, only difference is that you needed a weapon to do the lightning strikes. Here you can just use any weapon or your bare hands, in this case. Okay, so now we're gonna proceed with the combat test, and spawn in some pillagers next. Easy. Next we've got Vindicators. Well, that was quick and easy as well. So now we're gonna move on to something tougher. Ravagers. Also, let me eat some food real quick. And now let's spawn in these Ravagers. Go! Here we go. And just like that, they're gone. That wasn't even too bad, like they hardly made a scratch on my armor or even my double health too. And also, just as a quick note, if you take the super lightning rod out of the middle of your inventory, you pretty much will lose the effects that the lightning has given you. And the only way to get them back is to repeat the process again, which is to put this in the middle of your inventory and then wait for lightning to strike, so that way you can be charged up once again. Oh, and also when you take the lightning rod out of the middle of your inventory, the the thunderstorm will disappear as well. Like this. Okay, so now that you've seen all that, let's go over the commands into making this all work out. Oh, and by the way, if you guys are enjoying the video so far, make sure you guys leave a like on this video, and subscribe with notifications turned on. And with that, let's get into the commands, so be back in a sec.
A few moments later.
Okay guys, so first things first, we need a couple of scoreboard commands to make this all work out. Starting with this one right here. So it's scoreboard objectives add, and then we do OP underscore copper underscore armor 1 right over here. And then in the second half we do Minecraft.mind:Minecraft.copper underscore ore. And then this command right here simply removes that scoreboard if needed. And then we move on to this scoreboard command. So this first half of the command is pretty much exactly the same as the last one, except we want to put the name OP underscore copper underscore armor 2 right over here. And then in the second half is mostly the same, except we want to put deep slate right over here, underscore copper underscore ore at the end right here. And then this command right here simply removes that scoreboard if needed. And lastly, we got this scoreboard command. So same first bit as the other two, except we want to put a number 3 at the end of this scoreboard name right here. And then in the second half we do this. Minecraft.custom::Minecraft.damage underscore dealt right over here. And then this command right here simply removes that scoreboard if needed. Pretty standard stuff. So now we're moving on to the commands which activates the OP copper armor set bonus. And like all my other armor videos in the past, make sure the redstone is exactly as you see here. Starting with this command which will detect if the player is wearing the full armor set. So it's execute at P, run execute if items entity at A, and then we do armor.head right over here. And then you put in all the information for the special copper helmet named OP copper helmet as you see here. And then in this bit we do run execute if items entity at A, and this time we do armor.chest right over here. And then put in all the information for the OP copper chest plate as you see here. Same thing in this bit, except we do armor.legs right over here. And then you put in all the information for the special OP copper leggings as you see here. And lastly, same thing as all the others, except we put armor.feet right over here. And then put in all the information for the OP copper boots as you see here. And make sure you set this command to always active as well. So they have a redstone comparator like this going this way and one going this way, but we're first going to go this way. So this next command right here gives the user a special tag called OP copper armor. So here is just a simple execute at P, run tag at P, add, and then we do OP underscore copper underscore armor. So this next command right here enchants copper swords with sharpness. And by the way, this sort of command is going to be the same thing as for the copper tools as well, except with a different enchantment, but we'll get to that a little later. So it's execute at P, and inside brackets we do tag equals OP underscore copper underscore armor. And then here we do run execute if entity at A, and inside brackets we do nbt equals, inside color brackets we do selected item ID Minecraft copper underscore sword, close these brackets, and then we do run enchant at P Minecraft : sharpness 5 right over here. And then this command is the same thing, except this enchants the copper swords with unbreaking. So as you can see, we just need to put unbreaking 3 at the end right here. And then this command is the same thing, except this enchants copper axes with efficiency. So we just need to come all the way over here to this bit, and you want to change this to copper_axe right over here. And then at the end we just do Minecraft : efficiency 5 right over here. Same thing with this command, except this enchants axes with unbreaking. So as you can see, we have unbreaking 3 here, copper axe right over here. And then this command is the same thing, except this is for copper pickaxes. So as you can see, we just need to come over here and you want to put copper_pickaxe right over here. And then the rest is pretty much exactly the same. Same thing with this command, except this gives unbreaking to copper pickaxes. So as you can see, we have unbreaking 3 here, and then copper pickaxes right over here. Same thing with this one, except it's for copper shovels. So as you can see, we just need to come over here and you want to put copper_shovel right over here. And then the rest is pretty much exactly the same. Same thing with this command, except this enchants them with unbreaking. So as you can see, copper shovel right over here. And then the rest is pretty much exactly the same. And lastly, same thing for the copper hose. So you just need to change this bit to copper_hoe, and then the rest is pretty much exactly the same. And the same goes for when you're giving unbreaking to the copper hoe as well. So now this next command right here activates the OP Copper Armor 1 scoreboard. So same first bit right over here, except we do this in the second half. Run execute as at r at s, if entity at s, and inside brackets we do scores equals, inside curly brackets we do OP_copper_armor 1 equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets. And then this command right here summons a raw copper block where the raw copper is. So it's execute as at E, and inside brackets we do type equals item, comma MBT equals, inside curly brackets we do item : ID : Minecraft : raw_copper, close these brackets, and then here we do at S, if entity at S, and then here we do run summon Minecraft : item, and then here you do 3 squiggly lines like this, and inside these curly brackets we do item : ID : Minecraft : raw_copper_ block, and then you do comma count : 1b, and close all brackets at the end here. And then this command right here removes the raw copper after the ore is mined. So here it's just a simple kill at E, and inside brackets we do type equals item, comma MBT equals, inside curly brackets we do item : ID : Minecraft : raw_copper, and then close all brackets at the end. And then this command right here simply resets the scoreboard. So as you can see, it's pretty much a simple scoreboard players reset at A, OP_copper_armor 1, right over here. So these next few commands right here are pretty much going to be exactly the same as the ones I just gone over, except this is for when you mine deep slate copper ores to get the raw copper block, if that makes sense. Starting with this command, which will activate the OP Copper Armor 2 scoreboard. So as you can see, this command is pretty much exactly the same as the previous one, except we just need to put in the name op_copper_armor2 right over here. So this command is pretty much exactly the same as the previous one in terms of summoning a raw copper block where the raw copper is. So as you see right here, exactly the same. And then this command is pretty much exactly the same as the previous one in terms of removing the raw copper after the ore is mined. So as you see right here, exactly the same. So this command is pretty much exactly the same, except it's for resetting the OP Copper Armor 2 scoreboard. So like I said, exactly the same, except we just need to put OP_copper_armor2 at the end right here. So these next 4 commands right here are for crafting the Super Lightning Rod. Starting with this command, which will detect certain items on the ground, which in this case is 1 Lightning Rod, 7 Amethyst Shards, and 1 End Crystal. So it's execute at P, run execute as at E, and inside brackets we do type equals item, comma distance equals 0.3, if items entity at S, inside brackets we do nbt equals, inside curly brackets we do on ground :1b, close these brackets, and then we do contents Minecraft : lightning _ rod, and inside these brackets we do Minecraft : count equals 1. And then in this bit we pretty much do the exact same thing, except this is for the Amethyst Shard, and for the count we want to do 7. And then same thing over here, except this is for the End Crystal, and for the count we would just want to do count equals 1 right over here. So there you have a redstone comparator like this, with a redstone repeater leading into these next 3 commands. So this next command right here enchants the lightning rod and gives it a custom name. So this first half of the command is pretty much exactly the same as the first half of the last one I just showed you, except we do this here. Run data merge entity at S, and inside brackets we do nbt equals, inside curly brackets we do on ground :1b, close these brackets, and then here you're going to put in all the information for the special lightning rod named Super Lightning Rod as you see here. So these next 2 commands right here are for removing certain items on the ground. So here is just a simple execute at P, run kill at E, and inside these brackets we pretty much do mostly the same thing as when we're getting rid of the raw copper, except here we just want to put Amethyst _ shard right over here, and then you do comma nbt equals, inside curly brackets we do on ground :1b, and then we do comma distance equals 0.4. And then this command is the same thing, except it's for the End Crystal as you see here. So this next command right here detects if you have the Super Lightning Rod in the middle of your inventory. So same first bit here, except we do this in the second half. Run execute if entity at P, and inside brackets we do nbt equals, inside curly brackets we do inventory : and inside these brackets we do slot : 22b, which is the slot number for the middle of your inventory, and then we do id : Minecraft : lightning _ rod, comma components, and inside these curly brackets we do Minecraft : custom _ data, and inside these curly brackets we do super underscore lightning underscore rod colon 1b and close all brackets at the end here. So there you have a redstone comparator like this. With any kind of block, it makes you have a redstone torch coming into this command, but we'll get to that in a second. So now we're moving on to this command right here, which summons a thunderstorm. So as you can see, it's pretty much a simple weather thunder right over here. And then this command right here simply clears away the weather. Which, as you can see also, it's a simple weather clear right over here. So this command right here not only detects if you have the super lightning rod in the middle of your inventory once again, but this time if you're also near a lightning bolt. So same first bit right over here, except we want to add comma tag equals lightning underscore charged, and make sure you add an exclamation mark here, so this will mean if you do not have this tag, it will activate this command. And we'll talk about how you get this tag in just a second. And then this bit right over here is pretty much the same as the last one I just showed you. Except we do this in the last bit. Run execute if entity at E. Type equals microcolon lightning underscore bolt, comma distance equals 0.5. So there you have a redstone comparator like this going into these next three commands. So this is the command that gives you the special tag called lightning charged. So as you can see, this command is pretty much exactly the same as the one that gives you the OP copper armor tag, except for a few things. So inside these brackets, we want to do tag equals OP underscore copper underscore armor. We put the same thing here, and then at the end we just do add lightning underscore charged. So this command right here gives health boost. So same first bit as some of the others I've shown you, except inside these brackets we want to do tag equals lightning underscore charged, and then in the second half we do this. Run effect to give at P, and inside these brackets we put the same thing as before. Minecraft colon health underscore boost for infinite seconds, 4 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect. And then this command's the same thing, except this gives you instant health. So here we just want to do Minecraft colon instant underscore health for 1 second, 5 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect as well. So this command right here gives you an electric spark particle effect. So same first bit as some of the others I've shown you, except we do this in the second half. Run particle Minecraft colon electric underscore spark, and then here we do 3 squiggly lines like this with 1 here, 0.5 3 times, 0 here, 5 here, and then we do force at the end. So then this command right here removes the lightning charge tag if the super lightning rod is not in the middle of your inventory. So this first half of the command is mostly the same as the one that detects if you have the super lightning rod in the middle of your inventory, except for a few things. For one thing, you need to make sure you have the lightning underscore charge tag right over here. And then in this bit, we want to do unless instead of if right over here. And then the rest of this bit is the same. And then in the second half, we do this. Run tag at P, and inside brackets we put the same thing as before. Remove lightning underscore charged. So this command right here removes the health boost when the super lightning rod is not in the middle of your inventory. So this command is pretty much exactly the same as the one that gives you health boost, except we want to put clear instead of give in this bit right over here, and then the rest is mostly the same. So this next command right here summons lightning every time you hit an entity. So same first bit, except we do this here. Run execute at A, and inside brackets we do scores equals, inside colored brackets we do OP underscore copper underscore armor 3 equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets, and then we do run execute at E, and inside brackets we do NBT equals, inside colored brackets we do hurt time colon 10 seconds, comma distance equals 0.5, and then here we do run summon Minecraft colon lightning underscore bolt. And then this command right here simply resets the OP copper armor 3 scoreboard. So this command right here is mostly the same as the one that resets the other two scoreboards, except we want to come over here, and inside these brackets you want to do scores equals, inside colored brackets we do OP underscore copper underscore armor 3 equals 1, 2 dots at the end, close both brackets, and then we put that same scoreboard name at the end right here. And make sure you set this chain command block to unconditional as well. Otherwise, the command here will not work properly. So this next command right here detects if a lightning bolt is near the user. If you have the lightning charged tag, of course. So same first bit right over here. And then in the second half, it's pretty much exactly the same as one of the others I've shown you already. So this next command right here gives fire resistance. So again, same first bit here. And then in the second half we do this. Run effect give at P, and inside brackets we put the same thing as before. And then you do Minecraft colon fire underscore resistance for 2 seconds, 1 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect. Same thing with this command, except this gives resistance. So here we do Minecraft colon resistance for 1 second, 4 for the amplifier this time, and true for no particle effect as well. And then this command is the same thing, except this gives you speed. So as you can see, we got Minecraft colon speed for 10 seconds, 3 for the amplifier, and true for no particle effect as well. So these last 3 commands right here pretty much remove certain effects, tags, and items when you are not wearing the full armor set. So make sure you have a redstone comparator like this with the redstone torch leading into them. So this command right here will once again remove health boost. So as you can see, it's pretty much exactly the same command as I've shown you before. So this next command right here removes the OP copper armor tag. So same first bit here. And inside these brackets we want to put that same tag name here. Remove, and then you do OP underscore copper underscore armor. And then this last command right here removes the super lightning rod. So here is just a simple execute at P, run clear at P, and then you put in all the information for the special lightning rod named super lightning rod as you see here. And yeah, that is pretty much OP copper armor commands in Minecraft. And that, my friends, is gonna wrap up for today's video. So if you guys enjoyed this video, want to see more videos like this, make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you don't miss another video. Apart from that guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all next week in the next one. Goodbye!